It looks like game developers are absolutely afraid of the division of the sexes. They don't understand the difference between male and female, and they're bringing that to you. Even in games that have already been out there, they seem to be making changes, and we're going to talk about that, specifically about Capcom, on Hi folks, it's CC, and of course today I'm joined by the very one and only man of mischief, Loki. How you doing, Loki?
Doing pretty good. Ready to get into this Capcom story, Culture.
Oh boy, and do we have a story indeed. In fact, let's jump right in because Capcom removes male and female armor for Monster Hunter Wilds and will continue to offer male voices for female characters and vice versa. Now, why would they be compelled to do that, do you think, Loki?
I think they're scared and they're running scared and they're trying to make everybody happy. And when you try and make everybody happy, nobody ends up happy.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And of course, this is coming out of thatparkplace.com from our friend John F. Trent, the man, the myth, the legend over there. But look, Capcom have announced that they've removed male and female armor for their upcoming Monster Hunter Wilds game and will continue to allow players to have male voices for female characters and vice versa. Now, I would say that ladies have different parts than men do, and you have to allow for those parts in your armor. So are they just basically creating a unisex universe that maybe will be quite bland and uninteresting visually?
I think there is. There's been a lot of pushback against fem armor in a lot of these games coming from a very loud minority of people. We all know those are pretty much game devs and the people that write articles about how horrible it is to see female and female armor and how everybody needs to look exactly the same. And when you do that, it gets really boring for players.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it looks like during the Monster Hunter Wilds developer live stream at Gamescom earlier in the week, or I guess last week at this point, Monster Hunter producer Ryozo Tsujimo, I think I said that right, executive director and art director Kaname Fujioka, and game director Yuya Takuda demoed this particular game. Okay, and you can watch that if you want to go over and check it out on the website, thatgameplace.com, thatparkplace.com, rather. At the beginning of the presentation, Tsujimoto discussed the game's character creation through a translator. For everyone who sees this screen is concerned that there's simplified character creation. Don't worry, this is just for the show floor demo version to make things go quickly. We've made some preset characters for you to choose, but the full game has the detailed character creator that you've come to know and leave. I'm thinking about love. He added, we've also included voices by default on each character today, but in the full game, you'll be able to choose the voice that you want to have on your hunter. This is not new, given that Monster Hunter Rise, released in 2021, also had this option and had removed the distinction between male and female characters, referring to them as Type 1 and Type 2. Okay, look at that. That's pretty wild. Anyway, a little bit later in the demo, one of the developers states, you can see I'm choosing my armor here. In previous Monster Hunter games, you had male and female armor as was separate. I'm happy to confirm that Monster Hunter Wilds, there's no more male and female armor. All characters can wear any gear. Okay.
I think that's really sad. Let's take options away from you. Let's remove things. Let's remove specific armor, and we'll just have anybody can wear anything at any point in time and do whatever they. No, no. Let's give people specific armor. Let's give them what they want instead of taking options away. They're touting that, oh well, you can have your character sound like whatever you want. You can have them look like whatever you want in this character creator. Why can't you have the armor you want then?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess the community manager over there, who seemed to have spoken quite a bit during the course of this stream, said that that's awesome. Fashion game is officially the end game. No, it's not. Nobody wants to play, this game for the fashions. That's not why you play Monster Hunter. He later added, now in Monster Hunter Wilds, no matter how you choose to build your hunter, what they look like, any of the armor sets in the game, they can use as long as you have the monster parts. So that's incredible. We know the community have been wondering if this would be the case. Loki, I'm going to stop there. Who was wondering whether or not that was going to be the case? Like the 12 people who like whine about it on Reddit and everywhere else they can find a place to post it.
And a few game journalists that have whinged about the way female armor looks. Look, no matter how you break this down, this isn't a bonus. This is a minus. They don't have to work as hard. They don't have to make two looks for each set of armor. They only have to make one. This is lazy. This is more laziness. I'm sick and tired of these large companies like Capcom, like EA, taking options away and acting like this is something for you. You should be really excited about, instead of how everyone knows this is just them being lazy.
Well, it's not just about lazy, I think. I think it's also they're trying to be in line with an extreme political view that not really anything but an infinitesimally small group of people actually share. And I think this is largely going to continue to hurt Capcom sales. In fact, if they start to get blowback for this and backlash to it, maybe they'll reconsider. I mean, as a company, the Asian company, they are less likely to bend the knee to these things. But this is rather disappointing seeing this in this game. But I'll continue because there's a bit more here. The developers did not go into detail on how this will work, but it's not hard to imagine that male characters will now be able to wear breast armor and bikini armor, with female characters wearing male armor. In Monster Hunter Rise, male and female armors were distinct, as can be seen below in the I can't say this name, RX Gaming, this video down here, which you can see. Males and females are different. They have different body parts. Anyway, again, based on the comments from developers indicate that there is no more gender restrictions on armor, one can see how the Remobra S armor for females can now be used on male characters. It's not surprising this change is being made, given Capcom already removed male and female gender selections and allowed players to have male characters with female voices and vice versa. And this, I don't know. I'm seeing lots of bad here, Loki, and not for like the obvious reasons. It's just as you mentioned, you're really are, making it less about what this is supposed to look like, and you doing that across the board. And this is it. I mean, they have some very aimed goals here that I want to talk about with this graphic. Cultural sensitivity in characters. Character design and development must be culturally sensitive. What may be acceptable in one culture might be offensive in another. Localizers play a crucial role in ensuring that characters are relatable and respectful, avoiding stereotypes and other references that could be perceived as negative in specific cultures. Well, you just offended me. Do you care? You're bothering me. Do you care? It
No, they
bothers
don't.
me.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
And inclusive language and representation. This is also quite garbage. Localization efforts extend to promoting inclusivity through language and representation. And again, it's the same baloney sausage that all these studios are falling to. And you're about to see extreme failures of major studios because as word gets out about Grand Theft Auto 6, and all of these other major games and how heavily they're leaning on this super extreme minority garbage, these studios are going to collapse. Loki, any idea what's going to happen in 2025? I predicted 9 studios in 2024. We're already over that. How many studios do you think will be gone in 2025, and will any major ones be in big trouble?
I think they're already in big trouble. We've got Activision and Blizzard already scrambling, trying to avoid their DEI garbage. They're just renaming everything now so they don't get called out on it. But they're going to keep jumping through these hoops, and they're going to keep trying to keep these systems in place. It's not going to work with gamers, and we're not going to buy their crap. We're just not. This whole deal with Capcom, if they want to go down this road, let them. They'll pay the price at the end of the day. They have to pay the piper. They all are going to have to pay the piper culture. So I imagine we're going to get at least a couple of dozen closures of game companies. Whether we get any big ones or not, we'll see. They're already trying to avoid the entire DEI debacle. We'll see what happens in the next year.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think if you want to take a closer look at this story, folks, you can go check it out, as I keep saying, over on thatparkplace.com. There's more to this story. Some of it we're not going to cover here because we do try to keep it wide open for you to go and explore some of these stories. So do check that out. But at the end of the day, Loki, I think this game might be one that I will permanently avoid. And I think as long as Capcom goes back and starts editing and doing some things to their games that I again aren't exactly within my culture. I mean, if you want to be culturally appropriate, you're absolutely not doing it for me. I think I will continue to avoid them. I'm going to give you the final word on this one, Loki. What do you think?
Capcom's made some big mistakes lately. They've gone back and edited some of the levels in the Marvel vs. Capcom games for the recent release. It's about to release the Marvel vs. Capcom pack for Steam and Xbox and PlayStation. They're going back and taking things out of the original Dead Rising that they are going to be they're going to remove for the remake. We've got Monster Hunter. I'm just if Capcom wants to go down this road, like I said, let them pay the consequences for their actions. They are trying to bow down for a very small minority of the population. And if that's what they want to do, let them do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. And on that note, I want to know what you think, folks. Do you think that this is a good move for them? Do you think that we're overreacting to a change or shift in the way they do their monster armor and the way that they present voices and all the other edits that Loki just mentioned to other games to change it up to be more within the modern audience criteria, which we've proven with recent game releases that they don't exist. Well, heck, we've proven it in television with The Acolyte and in films as well. There's just no place for a modern audience that doesn't exist. And by catering to something that doesn't exist, money doesn't exist. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, get your game on.